friends, it's Christine. Today is Saturday, July 24th, and welcome to my channel, Hollis Hands Create. This is a channel about cross stitch and some other crafty endeavors that I might be into. And if you are returning, thank you for coming back. If you have wandered onto this channel by accident, hopefully you'll find something that you like to see, get some inspiration, and if not, then it was nice to see you. This is Flosstube number 28. So today I have a few things I want to talk to you about. I've got some finishes, a couple of FFOs, some whips, and some stash enhancement slash decor and accessories, some stitchy kindness, giveaways, and a new section that I am calling I'm Just Saying. SAYIN meaning stitch accessories you'll instantly need. So I hope you'll settle back and enjoy what you see, and let's get going. All right, I'm gonna start with some fun finds and stash enhancement. So last Saturday, Kay Dunlap, another Kansas City stitcher, who has come in and stitch a little on Instagram. Very nice lady. We've been to a couple of retreats together, and now that I'm up in the KC area, we're seeing each other a little bit more. And we actually messaged each other. We were kind of on the same wavelength, right? About going to the local needlework store that was happening to have a frame sale last Friday and Saturday. So we also had talked about or realized that the Purple Turnip, which is Maggie Bonanami's store, is just in Lexington, Missouri, which is about 45 minutes to an hour east, depending upon where you live in the city. So we decided that we would meet at the cross stitch store, pick out our frames, and head off and see what Lexington had to offer. In addition to seeing Maggie and her store, there were also about 3 or 4 other antique stores, and it's just a sweet little town. So we had a great day, and I'm going to show you just a couple of the finds that I had from that day. First, we got into Lexington and immediately headed right to Maggie's store, which is right on Main Street. And just tons of fun things in there. She's got a little bit of wool, some finished accessories, a lot of antiques, just all kinds of, just very eclectic, and just really nice. We probably spent about an hour in there visiting with Maggie and digging through all the things that she had. And I'm just going to show you a couple of the things that I picked up. One of them was this fun little pillow that she actually said she had just finished the week prior, and she just kind of had it stuck in a bowl. And it's just a simple little, old linen finish. And what she does is she will buy vintage fabrics and repurpose them and work them into her designs. And this was just one that she filled with lavender. It smells fantastic. She sells bundles of lavender in addition to using them to fill her little pillows. So I got this. I got a couple other things that were more antiques, like a wooden swinging handle basket and things like that, but it now has a big plant in it, so I didn't bring it down. This to me was the kind of the prize of the day. Let me just kind of back up. I'm coming to you from my work area slash craft room, kind of, if I can call it. It's more work, less crafting. I end up doing my crafting out in the rest of the house, but so you've got a little different view today. So I am standing up, so if I'm moving around a little bit, I'll try to do it slowly. But this was my find of the day. She had stuffed this into a Blackbird and mounted it on this old spindle. And then you see he's got the little pumpkin there. And I'll turn it around. There's a couple little pins that she'd stuck in it with some, you know, we've got some wool applique attached. And I just love this. And we were talking about, of course, Barb Adams, which, you know, they had a long-standing relationship, Maggie, Barb, and Alma. And this actually, I don't know if it had just like maybe fallen down into a basket on the floor, was covered up with some things, or maybe she just kind of tossed things in a basket. It's hard to say. But I was digging around and I saw the spindle and I was like, what is this? So I picked it up and I was like, oh, I have to have this. And it just was very appropriate that it's a Blackbird. I just love it. After we spent quite a bit of time with Maggie and her husband, chatting away and purchasing, we did go into a couple of the other antique stores, and I did find this little set of shaker boxes. And there's no mark, so I'm not sure, you know, who made them, but they're pretty well made, and I believe fairly aged just from looking at the finishing. And here's the small one. So the small one just measures 4 inches across, and the bigger one measures 6 inches across. And I got both of them for like $18. It was a heck of a deal. So I picked it up and I said to Kay, so what do you think of these? And she goes, well, if you're not getting them, I am. So anyway, I was like, well, I'm going to get them because I think they'll make perfect, be able to mount a round stitching design right onto the top. So anyway, very happy about that. Let's see, not a lot of stash enhancement this 2 weeks. It's been about 2 weeks and 2 days since I last visited with you, but I did get a couple of club items. I got my kit from Country Sampler, One Nation, and I believe I've seen a couple other club members also post this. This is by Samplers Not Forgotten. And as usual, the ladies at the Country Sampler have packaged it just so exquisitely. But there's a lot of things to do in this kit. As you can see, there's about 5 different little projects and all of the goodies inside. And I love that the fabric is this darker fabric and not really the lighter color, because I like that older look. This was a very good day, some happy mail. And then I recently joined the Color and Cotton Primitive Neutral Thread Club. And I got my July. Let me see if I've got something I can put this up against to kind of show this a little bit better. You'd think I would have lots of things in here, but I really don't. Excuse me. So there are the colors. There's 3 skeins. Well, good gravy. There you go. I think you can kind of see that pretty well. Very nice soft colors. So that was really it as far as stash enhancement that is specifically, you know, for my stitching needs. Not a lot. Let's see, what do we want to talk about? Let's go on to finishes and FFOs. FFO meaning finally finished object. And first, I'm going to show you my Where Liberty Dwells, because I did say in my last video that I would be finishing this. I'm doing this one. And this is from my 2019 Stitch Mania that I started this. So it was high time that it got finished. And it did. So I think it came out really well. I stitched this on 40 count, picture this plus feldspar. I did change the red to Gentle Arts Buckeye Scarlet. But I believe everything else was called for. So I'm happy to get that off of that mania list and into the to be finished pile. And next was my big finish. And unfortunately, I don't have it to show you. I finished Come Into My Garden by Blackbird Designs. Now, of course, the last couple of videos, if you've been watching with me, you've seen my progress because I've shown you my progress. I finished this last Friday night into Saturday morning. I was thinking it was around probably 1 o'clock in the morning. Because, as I mentioned, Kay and I were meeting at SAYIN Company, which is the cross-stitch store here in Blue Springs, and because they were having a 25% off framing sale. So I didn't have time, obviously, to work on it and try to film something and get out the door, you know, the next morning. But I am going to insert a couple of pictures here. I was very happy. I got my fillet and frame all picked out, and I hope to have that back in just a couple of weeks. So that was very exciting. I was just so happy to have this finished, and I'm very excited to get it onto my wall. It's got a space already set up in upstairs in the sitting room. So I'm really excited about being able to show you that. I'll show you that hopefully when I film again, unless there's a delay on you know, getting the frames in. So there were my two finishes. Now, I had shown you prior, in a couple prior videos, some finishes that I had that were just little smalls. And one was the Sweet Finch, which was a little kit from Samplers Not Forgotten. And I went ahead and finally last, I think Sunday afternoon, came downstairs and thought, you know what, I got to get these things finished. And so here was the little pillow finish. And you can see it's done with the little beads and pins holding in the vintage rickrack. Just some sweet cotton material for the back. I really love that. And then just the little embellishment there, the little pin with the button. I think it just came out really nicely. So that was my first little FFO. My second one, I had shown you this finish, and that was Whale Watch by Chessie and me. And the last time I showed you this, I had just been down to Quilter Station for Stitch Club and found some fabric to put on for the backing. And here's the fabric that I showed you. And I think that it just came out very lovely. Now I have this filled partially with some Warm and Natural stuffing and walnut shells because I kind of wanted that, you know, just that kind of that texture. It's not real lumpy like a bean bag kind of finish or what sand would be, but it's got a little bit of weight to it, and it's not, I didn't stuff it really thick, but I just think this is so cute. So it came out really well, and I'm just really pleased with it. Okay, so there's finishes and FFOs. Let's move on to what I've been working on. So I have been, after I spent, I will say, after my last video, I think I spent probably 6 or 7 days straight just stitching on Come Into My Garden. So it did not leave me a tremendous amount of other stitch time, but I did get my page finish on Paradigm Found that I mentioned, my Long Dog samplers. And if you'll recall, I'm working down in this corner, and this is my 1 thread a day project. So here's where I am. So since I showed this to you last, I did end up filling in the cherub's bottom and added in the bottom here and this little guy. Now I should have put in like 16 threads between my last video and now. I actually only got in 7. I had a couple of mornings where I had to kind of just hit the ground running. But I'm really loving this. I'm stitching it on, let's see, I still have my tag on here. 40 count vintage pecan butter by Lakeside Linens. So, and I'm using Gentle Art threads current. So it really I got back to it in the last couple of mornings, so I'm enjoying getting back to that in the morning. Now the next thing that I showed you as my vacation start, because kindness has been my theme for this year, and I saw this come out from Needlework Press and had to start it. This is And to Be Kind to One Another. Now this is a companion to Be Exceedingly Diligent, which came out a few years, I guess about 3 years ago. And it's a horizontal, well, I'll just show you on the back, right there, the picture. It's the horizontal sampler, and they wanted to have a vertical sampler to match. So I saw that and I just immediately had to start it. And the last time that I showed you this, I believe I was kind of right in this area. So I have finished the flower row, the words "and be kind to one another," this half Quaker motif, and some of these little motifs. I think it's coming along very nicely. I'm just getting started. I did that late last night on the capital letters here. So that's where I am. So I'm very happy with the progress on that. So there I am, because I obviously had the four whips, which turned into 2 finishes, and so I left with just those 2 whips. So let's move right on along to the new little section that I want to kind of start adding to these videos. And I was talking with my son, Adam, who is back in the house with me, and he's been working with me since he got here, really like the 2nd week of May, in the shop, and taking on all of the shipping. He's learning to put in inventory. It just really has been a blessing to me, because I was getting to the point where I needed help, and so that I could avoid having to have a periodic shutdown just to catch up. And so he's learning the lingo, he's learning the designers, he's learning customers. It's really kind of funny. But I was talking to him about this with, I didn't want to call it like something like Gadget Corner, but he said, let's come up with like an acronym or something. So this is what I'm going to call it. It's I'm Just Sayin', SAYIN apostrophe. And what that means is stitching accessories you'll instantly need. So we're going to spotlight each video a new accessory, or maybe not new, but a different accessory each time. And I'm just going to kind of go through, all the different things that are out there that we never knew we really needed. Maybe sometimes we did know we needed it. Maybe we don't necessarily need it, but we want it. Whatever the case may be, right? So let me start with project bags. That's what I'm gonna show you. Let me reach back here. I'm gonna kind of talk about a little bit of the evolution of the project bag. Now, I have had a project bag since, I guess I was about 10, 11 years old. Both of my grandmas, maternal and paternal, both were big time stitchers. My father's mother did it all. Prolific quilter, tatting, crochet, knitting. She never did do cross stitch, and when I really started doing a lot of cross stitch, she at that point had glaucoma, and she was like, I just can't do that. But all the rest of it, she did a lot. Rug hooking, I mean, she did a lot. And she made me, because I spent every summer with them, and she would have me sit next to her, and I would piece like pieces together. She would, run them through the machine and quilt. And usually every summer we would finish at least 2 quilts, and I would go with her to take them to the quilter. And it was just a process, and it was something I looked forward to every summer. But what she made me was my very own little project bag. And she quilted it on both sides. And the handle is, project pieced, right? Quilted together as well. And inside, it's got a lining, but it's also got some little, let's see if I can kind of show you here, 2 pockets on the inside that are patchwork, pieced and applied. And it's not super deep, but this is my very first project bag. I gotta say, I think I must have been around 10, 11, 12 years old max. And so I've had it 44, 45 years, right? So this, I think, is where I got my love of the quilted project bag. So this was my first project bag. My second project bag that I purchased that was really very specifically for cross stitch was actually in Hot Springs, Arkansas. And there used to be a store right downtown that sold all this kinds of stuff. And I know I've seen other people show this as well, but this was my first one. I bought this probably, we were going down almost every year for our anniversary in March, and like through our 20s. So I must have bought this when I was probably about 24, 25 years old. And this is one of the ones that has the bobbin sheets in it. It's Windsor Woods Project Pack. And I have drug this thing hither and yon. It has been everywhere with me, and it definitely looks like it's been everywhere with me. So that was my second project bag. Then, of course, I've got the project bag that everybody had probably, and maybe some still do. Good old Ziploc bag. This is a pretty large one, and I still see sometimes people, zipping them, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with this project bag. Now, as we all know, there are tons of different kinds, right? Here's another one. Zipper totes. Now this is a smaller one. This one measures, what, 9 by 6. Just with the zipper top. And it's got kind of that mesh that's on the inside with that sealing. You can kind of see that plasticky. So these can also be very popular. And in different sizes. Now, something I just have added to the shop are the new Mad for Plaid bags by It's So Emma, Lori Holt. And this is all mesh, does not have that plasticky stuff that covers over the mesh. It has a 3-inch bottom so that you can actually put your things in and it'll open up. So it's not necessarily just for cross stitch. You can put all kinds of things. And it is a good size. It's like a 10 by 13 by 3. Then we get into the whole world of project bags that we're making. And I've got a whole load of them. I can sew. I have the ability to make my own project bag. I have made one project bag. This is the one that I made, and I showed it several videos ago. And I used a tutorial from the Primitive Stitcher, Suzette. Here's my inside. She had a fantastic tutorial. There's no reason why I couldn't make my own bags, but time, it's more about time. So this is my one and only that I have actually made. Now, I have purchased a lot, and you have seen me show several. So there's different ones that you can get, and I've got some go-to makers who I love. Nikki's Notables. Now this is one of her medium bags, and so this one is like 11 inches wide by, well, it's about 11 by 11, and of course it has the vinyl front. So you've got the, you know, the zipper, right? You got the vinyl front. Now what I put into the vinyl front bags are my smaller projects that are not going to reside in a bag for a super long amount of time, because one drawback is that vinyl, especially if it gets heated up, can stick to your pattern if you've got it in there. And then of course the other thing with these is they're themed, right? So I will buy some that are themed and put my Christmas smalls or patriotic smalls, you know, whatever, in those bags. And sometimes when I'm flipping through it in my big basket that holds my project bags, it does make it easier when I can go to, oh, I want to pull something Christmas, and I can just see it here. Though, you know, obviously I could also see here, but then that means you've got to have the pattern faced, you know, towards the vinyl. But this is just really a lovely bag, and has that pieced, you know, striping or stripping around here, the pieced quilted stripping around the edge. Really love Nikki's bags. And Nikki has them, I think I showed you one last week where she's got tall bags, and I really love her tall bags too, because I like having my bigger projects up and down rather than stuffing it in sideways. So that's really nice. Another that I had shown to you, and this is a little bit different twist. This is a quilted bag. This is Pam's Needle and Thread, and so you can see that it's all quilted. So a little more cushioning, depending upon what you're putting in, right? And just your regular zipper open here. So that's also a really nice bag. Now this one, oh, I should have measured. This one is 13 by 13. So good size. Now, another little twist, and I think everybody is probably aware of That's So Kelly. That's So Kelly Co. is, of course, her Bitsy Bob. Now, I do not use the Bitsy Bob as a stitching chair accessory. I actually use mine as a small project travel bag. Now, this is one that I had this fabric, and I sent it to Kelly, and she made up a bag for me, or a Bitsy Bob for me, and it's just the cutest little idea. As you can see, I'll move over to this side. So threads here, magnet here, little zipper pouch, very handy for traveling. And I have a couple of these that I use specifically for being able to put my little project in, push it right down into my purse, and I'm good to go with a nice little travel bag. So last but not least in this section, this is kind of a dual purpose thing I'm going to show you. This is the tail end of my project bag expose, if you will, and also to talk about some stitchy kindness that I've received. I had planned to film today, which was, you know, fine, but my mailman actually came early today, and I saw a package at the door, so I went out and, you know, and got it and opened it. Well, let me show you the back of the package first. This is like just the best thing ever, guys. When you pick up your package and it says Happy Mail and Hi Christine, I was like, oh yay. I was so excited to see this, and I sliced it open, and inside was just the sweetest little card. And my good friend Cathy Lounsbury, who I actually got to meet in person at Midwest Cross Stitchers in Amana in April, is just the sweetest person, and she's so creative. She makes these different things, different bags, different, you know, I've seen her post some things on Instagram that are just absolutely adorable, just crafty types of things that are just so sweet. And she said in her card, I heard you say you missed out on a quilted project bag. I was making some, so I made an extra one for you. Hope you like it. Happy stitching. I let out a little squeal, I must admit, and I immediately messaged her, you know, thank you so much. This bag is absolutely awesome. So here's the reveal. I'm going to show you. This bag is literally 14 by 12. And it is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I love this. The Quilted Project Bag is just, it's just my favorite. And I have to show you, look at this. She took a little bobbin and she attached some of the cutest little charms. This is a 2021 charm, little silk cord charm, there's a tape measure, there's scissors, made with love. I mean, this is just so sweet, and a little lure thing. And look at the bottom here where she's got the rickrack with the buttons just sewn on to absolute perfection. Look at that inside fabric. Can you see that inside fabric? And then the back. And if you want to see what Cathy's working on, she has an Instagram called It's So Stitchy, and it's so S-E-W Stitchy on Instagram. I'm going to show you that. It's So Stitchy on Instagram, and it's Cathy Lounsbury. And you'll just never meet a nicer person. So I opened this up. And inside, I mean, if the bag wasn't enough, she had made a little needle book for me too. Needle and thread book. Open that up. You got the felt on the inside. For the little needles, a little heart. And then it just snaps together. Look at that. Is that not just absolutely the best gift ever? Thank you so much, Cathy. I did ask her if I could, you know, show it and obviously mention her name, and she said yes. And you know, if you want a bag that is just sewn perfectly, contact Cathy. I'm sure that she would, you know, accommodate your request. So that knocks out the project bag subject for this video. I do want to do one more thing though with the project bag. You know, I normally give something away each video, and since we've been talking about project bags, I actually had purchased one with this in mind, and that was to give this one away. And it's a really sweet, patriotic finished bag. It's just a solid back on it. It's just a really sweet zipper pull. And that's just on with lobster claw, so if you don't like that type of a thing hanging, you can always take that off and use it for something else. Now this is a printed panel. It is not, you know, Hexie's quilted together, but it is just a printed panel. But I thought this would be really nice to give away to someone who maybe just needs an extra project bag, maybe never had one, maybe you're still using the plastic, maybe you're not using one at all. You just got stuff in a basket and you'd like to have a project bag. I'm gonna give that away. I would like to hear in your comments what you think about, you know, project bags. Obviously we have all kinds of accessories that we use because we need them, because we want them, and where do we house them all? In a project bag. So make sure you use the words project bag in your sentence or in your comment, because that's how I'm going to search. And in a couple of weeks, that's what we'll do. Now be sure to not use the word freebie or giveaway or anything like that in your comment. We want to make sure that someone who really wants this project bag, who will use the project bag, gets the project bag. Also, please be over 18. I don't need anybody sending me an address and they're not over 18. So I hope that you will love it, and I look forward to reading your comments. I've had some of the best comments, and it's really good reading. And I do try to respond to most. Sometimes I don't get the opportunity to, but I do try to always at least read, and you'll know I've read it if I've hearted your comments. So. And then that brings me to our giveaway winners from the last video. I had two projects, both patriotic, because we are still in July, some patriotic stitching time. And one of them was from Mountain Air Designs, Long May She Wave. It's a really nice design, nice flag. Only uses 3 colors, so not, you know, not super hard to gather your things into your project bag to stitch this design. And I had 39 comments using the word wave, and the winner was Karen Word. Congratulations, Karen. Please message me. I will have my email in the description box below, and you can email me with your mailing address, and I'll get that right out to you as soon as I hear from you. And the second thing that I was giving away was the Heartstrings Sampleries Flag Day at Twin Gables. And this is the pattern and kit accessories. So this was the second project to be given away. And the word that you needed to use in your comment was flag. It's 66 comments, and the winner of that particular giveaway is Michelle Chapman. Michelle Chapman. Congratulations, Michelle. And if you will also email me to the address in the comment box or the description box below, I'll get that right out to you as soon as I receive your information. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much for all your lovely comments. I do like reading them. And, you know, like I said, if there are questions too there, I always try to answer them, you know, right as soon as I see them or within a day or so. I try to make sure that those are answered. So, you know, don't hesitate if you know, maybe not commenting specifically on a giveaway or something, but if you've got a question, you know, be sure to throw that question in there as well. So that pretty much wraps everything up. I did want to show you one other thing as far as the accessories that were, I have to just show you this because this is something I use absolutely every day. It's probably my absolute all-time favorite, and that is this guy. I absolutely love this. It sits next to my stitching rocking chair. It has my pin cushion, a little doodad holder, and I put in one of my little clips with the penny on it that I get every time I order from Michelle at Under the Will and Willow. I put it in here because it works great. This is magnetized at the bottom. There's a magnet down in there, and so it just sticks right in there. But there's times when I want to clip like a project, if I want to clip the page or something like that, what I'm working on. Got this little guy, you'll see, magnetized here. So you can kind of take that off, put it back on. My highlighter, some little thread tags, extras. My thread spool, that's a scissor holder. This little guy is a little kitten needle minder. Isn't that spectacular? I absolutely love that. So I did want to show that because that is probably my all-time most used and favorite stitching accessory that I absolutely had to have. And hope you enjoyed everything that you saw. I think I've kind of covered pretty much everything. We are on the countdown to the Needlework Expo for late summer, early fall, which is the last weekend in August, Needlework Expo. If you follow that hashtag on Instagram, you'll see the designers begin to release their sneak peeks of the things that they've got coming out. We will have, that's a virtual show. We will have the traditional market, needlework market in Nashville in March of this next year. Everybody's registering to do that. So that's, I'm excited to get back, to Nashville and see everybody in person. I do have a couple of retreats still coming up. Next one is at Quilter Station in September. Really looking forward to that. And I think I've covered everything. Oh, you know what? I did want to say, since I did get this just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous bag from my friend Cathy, and I met Cathy for the first time in person in Amana at a retreat, right, Midwest. And if you'll remember, our kit that we received from Paulette, Live on Little. I'll show you this real quickly. Live on Little. So since that's where we made our connection, that's what's going to reside in this bag. And I am thrilled. It's a big project, which is perfect for a non-vinyl front bag, in my opinion. And so this box is going right in there. And Cathy, that's what's in my bag. So I'm very happy with it. I can't wait to start it. That's actually going to get started on August 1st. That'll be my August 1st start. And I think I've kind of covered everything. Looking around my table, like I said, I'm down here in my workroom because I have a very large cutting table and work table, and it's so much easier than dragging all my stuff upstairs to the table in the eating area. I do have really good light up there, but today I just was like, you know what, I'm going to do it down here. So hopefully I haven't moved around too much. I am, like I said, standing. So I look forward to reading your comments. I hope everyone has a fantastic Saturday. Stay cool. If it's hot here, we're supposed to be getting to, I think, 105 with the heat index, so it is warm. And stay cool. I know 3/4 of the country seems to be under this heat cyclone, or anti-cyclone they call it. And happy stitching, and remember, create every day. Thank you.